Marburg Ravn strain, the bat cave spillover. Every outbreak has an origin story, but this one begins in a place no human was ever meant to enter. Deep inside the forests of Uganda lies the remains of an abandoned gold mine. Twisted metal, collapsed tunnels, rotten beams. To most people, it looks like a piece of history. But to scientists, it looks like danger. Locals avoid the mine completely. They whisper about people going in and never coming back. They talk about strange noises at night. But the truth is far more terrifying. This mine is home to a massive colony of Egyptian fruit bats, the natural reservoir for one of the deadliest viruses ever discovered, Marburg Ravn strain. In the early 2000s, a research team entered this cave with a mission to understand how viruses jump from animals to humans before the next outbreak happens. They knew the risks. They wore gloves, masks, full suits. They followed every safety protocol imaginable. But inside this cave, protocol doesn't save you. Luck does. As they descended, the darkness turned thick and suffocating. The air was heavy with heat and the bitter smell of bat guano. Their flashlights barely cut through the black. Drips of condensation echoed through the cavern. Every sound felt too loud, too close. Then suddenly the ceiling moved. Except it wasn't the ceiling. It was thousands of bats waking up. Wings exploded outward, hitting the team like a rush of air. The researchers ducked, covering their heads as the animals swarmed around them. In that moment, the biologist in the front felt something brush his neck. A wing, a claw, a tiny scratch he didn't even register. It lasted less than a second. But it changed everything, because in that scratch were microscopic particles of Marburg Ravn strain, a virus with a fatality rate that can reach 90% and a reputation for killing fast. But he didn't feel sick. He didn't feel anything at all. Not yet. That night at camp, he laughed with the team over dinner. He showed no symptoms. He felt normal. But while he talked and ate and interacted, the virus was already multiplying inside him. Fast. Marburg doesn't knock. It breaks in. By morning, he woke up drenched in sweat. His head pounded. His muscles ached. He felt like something was pressing down on his chest. He thought it was exhaustion, or dehydration, or the heat of the cave catching up to him. He didn't want to worry anyone. But within hours, his condition crashed. He grew pale, dizzy, confused. His fever spiked so fast he felt like his skin was burning from the inside. His vision blurred. He vomited until he collapsed. His teammates rushed to help, but that only made it worse. Because Marburg spreads before symptoms appear. He had already exposed 2 people. By the time they reached the medical facility, he was barely conscious. Doctors immediately recognized the signs. Severe hemorrhagic fever. And when they learned he'd been working in a bat cave, the truth hit them like a punch. This wasn't dehydration. This wasn't a bacterial infection. This was Marburg Ravn, one of the most vicious viruses ever recorded. Inside his body, blood vessels were tearing open. His organs were struggling to function. His kidneys were shutting down. Internal bleeding was increasing by the minute. His eyes turned red. His gums began bleeding. Every breath sounded wet and painful. Doctors tried everything. IV fluids, oxygen support, pain control, but Marburg Ravn moves with terrifying speed. And the co-workers he had exposed? They were now in isolation, waiting, wondering if they had hours or days before their symptoms began. That is the nightmare of Marburg. You don't know you're reinfected until it is too late. And by then, you've already infected others. Investigators trace the source back to one thing: the abandoned mine, the massive bat colony, and a single scratch that lasted less than a second. But this wasn't the first time. Spillovers had happened in the same area before. Miners had died. Villagers had gotten sick. Researchers had been infected. This cave wasn't dangerous by accident. It was dangerous by nature. And here's the terrifying part. The bats are still there. The virus is still there. The conditions for spillover have never stopped. Experts warn that Marburg Ravn could spark another outbreak at any time. Not from a hospital, not from a crowded city, but from a quiet cave hidden in the forest. A place most people will never see. A place where one wrong step, one scratch, one breath could trigger the next medical disaster. Because when a virus like this escapes the dark, it doesn't stay in the dark. It spreads, it evolves, it hunts for new hosts, and it only needs one